Gran Turismo 5 was a perpetual tease, on display as a showcase of the PS3's visuals for years, as fans endured delay after painful delay. Many expected history to repeat itself, hoping for a new vision of Gran Turismo at the PS4's unveiling in February. Instead, Gran Turismo 6 wasn't announced for next-gen, but for PS3, aiming to maximize the series' potential at the end of the console cycle. Delivered just 6 months after its announcement, what's on offer here still carries many of the same strengths and weaknesses of the previous game. Playing Gran Turismo is fundamentally about mastering realistic driving, fighting to get the most out of every gear and every corner, pushing your reflexes to trim off the last half second that stands between you and a gold trophy. The already excellent driving model has continued to evolve, losing its stiffness to feel more natural and giving a better sense of your vehicle's momentum. Your AI opponents feel a bit less like trains this time, but since most races ask you to pass them all from the back of the pack in 2 or 3 laps, there really isn't much room for them to be competitive. Bumping into cars or walls at high speed bears little consequence, but players who want to drive clean are now aided by blindside indicators that make up for the lack of peripheral vision. Ultimately, the AI serves as rolling obstacles, and your real battle is with the track. It's here that GT continues to be exhilarating. Winding courses like Willow Springs and the Matterhorn truly test your ability to keep the car from flying off the pavement, and GT still has the best version of the Nürburgring. Visually, Gran Turismo 6 is still frustrating in its inconsistency. It can look stunning one minute and outdated the next. Interlaced trees, pitiful rain effects, distracting pop-in and fluctuating shadows all make it seem like Polyphony is struggling with a console they've been working with for the better part of a decade. Though every so often you'll catch a moment of something that just looks amazingly convincing. One thing that is consistent is the poor audio, with engines that sound muted and muffled. A Trans Am should never be mistaken for a vacuum cleaner. GT's car selection has grown to an almost inconceivable 1,200 models, representing a wide range of consumer-level vehicles, dream cars, and racers from a variety of disciplines. Still, it's not too hard to find some holes in the lineup. With about 140 Nissans available, it's clear that some manufacturers are getting favored more than others. Sorting through these vehicles has become much easier with every car gathered in a central dealership. The standard versus premium divide still exists, but they're not explicitly labeled. So if you're trying to avoid driving cars with chunky exteriors and blacked out cockpits, you'll have to pop into gallery mode before you buy. A recommended section helps define cars for certain tiers and classes, but while it's a step in the right direction, there are still times when you'll need to dig deeper to compare. While some players are concerned regarding the ability to buy in-game credits with real cash, there's some relief in knowing that you have to specifically venture into the online store to do so. There are no prompts to spend money to accelerate your game, you're still given gift cards on a regular basis, and you get to try out a number of high-end cars through various events. There also aren't any cars held back as Day 1 DLC. On the contrary, the Free Vision GT program promises to hand out 28 new concept cars over the course of the next year, and the first of these is already available. When it comes to digging under the hood, GT6 has made the upgrade system quite intuitive. It's very easy to see how changes affect your performance, and the results feel significant once you hit the road. Visual changes, however, are still basically limited to selecting a paint chip from another car you own and sticking on new rims or a spoiler. The quirky tune-up shop is back too, for you to wash cars or change the oil after you put some miles on them. The biggest improvement in Gran Turismo 6 is a career that promotes variety and flexibility. You'll gradually move from dinky hatchbacks to GT3 and NASCAR, but you never feel locked into a slow grind of specific events. By earning stars across a variety of races, you can focus on what you like. Spend some time driving a kart, move on to a muscle car, and then hop over to a Ferrari before finally earning enough stars to unlock the license test for the next tier. Most events are simply divided by car class, but some feature great scenarios like racing as the sun goes down, flipping on the headlights, and watching the stars come out. Plus, the game keeps things fresh with a well-paced introduction of 37 track locations. GT5 veterans may be disappointed by the lack of new off-road courses, however, and while a few career races let you drive in the rain, the weather system doesn't really impress. Progressing through the main career also unlocks a number of other worthwhile diversions. Coffee break challenges let you plow through cones or test your ability to drift, and there are a couple of great eco challenges that task you with getting as far as you can on a limited amount of fuel. Similarly, the Goodwood Festival lets you take different cars out on the famous hill climb, and low-gravity missions on the moon put you in a seat of a lunar rover. Additionally, short mission scenarios can become addictive as you attempt to make it through brief sections of track to beat the target time. Online play in GT6 is rather open-ended in its organization. There's no matchmaking or preset rooms to queue up in, just a list of custom lobbies made by other players. Numerous options enable hosts to set up races just about any way they want, but despite some flags and filters, it isn't very easy to know what's going on in a room before you join. Finding a like-minded group can be fleeting, and the game won't automatically limit cars based on the host's restrictions, forcing you to go through the tedious process of manually readjusting settings and assists. In addition to the lobbies, seasonal challenges provide a handful of extra time trials, but other community features, B-Spec, and a course maker aren't available at launch. Once again, Gran Turismo's biggest weakness is its inconsistency. Its best parts are so great that it's shocking to come across elements that are so far below standard. Still, many of its faults are purely cosmetic. Where the rubber meets the road, it's still fantastic. The interface is far more intuitive, and the career is flexible and well-paced. It's the diversity that wins out overall, and with creative initiatives like Vision GT and the lunar missions, Gran Turismo 6 brings more variety than anyone else can match.